What's going on, guys? This is me Ron and welcome to the new video tutorial. In this video tutorial I am going to show you how to create a responsive Gmail like login form in ASP.NET using Bootstrap and SQL Server database. If you are new to Bootstrap, it is a JavaScript and CSS framework that help us to create a responsive web page using predefined CSS classes. These classes are defined by Bootstrap, so we only have to consume them in our website is per our requirement, and we use SQL Server for our database. In order to store the data that the user enter in any website or software, we need a database. So for that purpose, we use SQL Server database. Now to access the database information and to display that information into the HTML page, we need a server-side scripting language. That is the backend of the website. For that purpose, we use ASP.NET. ASP.NET itself is a technology to create a website, and in that technology you can use variety of programming language like VB.NET, C#.NET, but for this project we are going to use C#.NET. So let's do it. First of all, open the Visual Studio and then go to File and then click New and then click on Project and then select Visual C# because we are going to use C# as our backend. And then underneath of Visual C#, select Web and then select ASP.NET Web Application and then give the project name like Login and then click OK and then select Empty Templates, and we are going to host this in our local computer. So after selecting Empty Template, click OK. Now right click over your project, click on Add and then add web form. Each web pages in ASP.NET are called web form, and then you can give the web form name like Login and then click OK. Now here you can see a simple HTML design. You can go to design to see the design and then go to source to see the source code. There is a various way to implement a Bootstrap in your ASP.NET web application. You can also use the Nugget package manager. So right click over your project and then go to manage Nugget package and search here Bootstrap, and you can install the Bootstrap from here and you can use the Bootstrap class. And another way to use the Bootstrap in your project is, first of all, go to get Bootstrap, get bootstrap.com and click that get started and simply copy that CSS link. So we are going to use this method because I think this is the easiest one in order to use a Bootstrap in your project. So that's why we are going to use this second method. After using this CSS Bootstrap link in your ASP.NET web pages, after compiling that code, what you can see is there is a class display by your IntelliSense in Visual Studio. I will show that compile CSS class that the IntelliSense show when we are going to use that CSS class. So let's do it. Now we are give some title like login page, and first of all we need to connect this web page with the Bootstrap. So open any browser and then go to get Bootstrap bootstrap.com, and there you can see quickly design and customize a responsive mobile first sites with Bootstrap. So click on get started. We need to copy the CSS link, so click that copy and then go back to Visual Studio, and inside the head tag we are going to paste this link. So paste that. Now what we are going to do is I am going to delete this form section from here, and first of all we are going to see the grid system. So go back to Bootstrap side and then go to layout, and inside the layout you can go to grid. So what is grid system? So in the grid system, the entire width of the web page is divided into 12 columns, and as per the need of our requirement we can use the combination of these columns. So here you can see the entire web page is divided into 12 columns, and then we can use the combination of like a combination of 2, 3, 4, 6 or whatever we like. So go back to here and scroll down. Here you can see the easiest layout is grid system. That's why I am going to use this one. And here we are going to define on row. Inside that row we are going to have some column. So go back to Visual Studio, and here I am going to write div class is equal to row, and then inside that row what I am going to do is I am going to create another div. So div class is equal to column, and again go back to Bootstrap website and scroll down. Here you can see we can use XS, SM, MD, LG for large, XL for extra large, and so on. In the combination, here you can see column 6. That means we are going to use the combination of 6 column. So go back to VS Code, and here what I am going to do is I am going to write column dash LD dash 4. That means we are going to use the combination of 4 column. So there you go. Now what we are going to do is we are going to divide the entire web page into the 3 sections, and in the first section we are going to display nothing, in the last section we are going to display nothing, but in the middle of the web page we are going to display our login form. So you can simply copy and paste this. So inside this second column we are going to display our login form. So here go back to Bootstrap website, and here what we are going to do is we are going to use one form. So go to forms, and you can get a variety of forms here. There you can see different types of forms. Look at this. You can also search here. You just need a searching and pasting skill in order to create a website using Bootstrap. So here I am going to type login, and here you can see the login. Scroll down and you will see a beautiful login form here. I'm going to show you. Look at this, the beautiful login form. Simply copy this, paste. You can create a responsive login form, but we are going to create a Gmail like login form. That means when we click that text box, the text inside that text box go upwards. So in order to create a Gmail like forms, go to forms and then click on floating labels. That is called floating labels. Here you can see when I click the text box, the text inside the text box go upward. Same here. So here simply copy this and go back to VS Code, that is Visual Studio Code, and here what I am going to do is I am going to create a form tag. First of all, form, and then run it is equal to server, and inside that form tag we are going to paste that copied code, and we are going to use a submit button also. So for that I am going to use, here you can see here is the class form floating, and MB means bottom margin, and bottom margin is 3. So here also I am going to use that bottom margin. Before doing that, first of all let me save this and run this in our Firefox, not Firefox, Google Chrome. There you go. There is a responsive login form. Here you can see when I click that text box, the text inside that text box go upward, which is Gmail like, and here in the left side there is nothing, here in the right side there is nothing. This is the desktop view, and when you resize it, this is the view that you are going to see in the desktop, and when you resize it you are going to see this one. Oh, we did not get responsiveness. That means we have done some mistake here, so go back to Visual Studio and stop that. And here, oops, we should not write column there, only column dash ld dash 4. That means we are going to use the combination of 4 column. No need to write col here and here also. Simply save that and execute in web browser. There you go. Now resize it, and this is the desktop view, and this is the tab view, and this is the mobile view. But in the tablet and mobile view, the web form is displaying from far left to far right, but we need to display that in somewhat center. So in order to do that, what we can do is go back to Bootstrap, and here you can get one class, div class, that is container class, so that the content of the web page will be centered. So in order to do that, go back here, and inside this div, what we are going to do is we are going to use one div class. Div class is equal to container, 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 and simply cut that previously written code and cut that and paste inside that container div. Paste, save, and then run it. Now resize it. Now here you can see the effect of using that container div class. This is the mobile view, this is the tablet view, and this is the desktop view, that is laptop view. Now here what we are going to do is we are going to display some message in this form, so that the user sees please log in this form or enter some credentials. So in order to display that, go back to Bootstrap site, and here what you can see is here is component, and we are going to display the alert box. So scroll down, and here you can see different type of alert box, and we are going to use this one because this is pretty good. So simply copy and go back to Visual Studio, stop, and here insert that form, insert that container, but also at that form, simply paste that, and here what we can display is login here, login here, and we are going to display some message here. So please enter your credentials to login, and we can simply delete that message that the Bootstrap provided us as a demo. And also I'm going to delete this horizontal line also, and this paragraph also. Simply save that, and we are going to use one button also. There are two types of control in ASP.NET web application. The first one is the HTML server control, and the second one is the web server control. Here you can see we already use this HTML tags, and in order to make this HTML plain HTML tags into HTML server control, we need to do two things. First one is we need to add a run it is equal to server tags, so that we can access this HTML tags in our backend, and another one is the ASP.NET control. So in order to use that ASP.NET controls, what we do is from view, go to view, and then click that show toolbox. I already did that here, and we are going to use one button. So simply double click that button. Here you can see ASP button, and ID is equal to button 1. You can change that ID, and run it is equal to server, and text is, you can also change that text. So here I am going to use login, and here we are going to use the class. So CSS, so as I already told you, we can use the CSS class, and when I use that CSS class and click equal to, after using that Bootstrap CSS link in our head tags, the available CSS classes are compiled, and we can see those compiled classes here. So here what I'm going to do is btn dash primary. We're going to use primary button and simply save that and run. When you run this, there is no space between the password text box and the login button. So in order to place that space, so what we need to do is go back, stop, and here, as I already tried to explain you, that here there you can see the class mb-3, that means bottom margin is 3. So here, but here there is no such class, so we are going to add that here, and mb-3, this will place the space between the password text box and the login button. So that's all. And as I already told you, we need to convert these plain HTML tags into SQL Server Control so that we can access this text box value while we're writing the code. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this plain HTML to SQL Server Control. So run it is equal to server, and id is equal to already that given id, and you can also change that id. I'm going to use txt email, and here id txt pass, and we also need to change this plain HTML to SQL Server Control. There you go. Now save it, run it. There you go. There is a beautiful responsive login form, and we get space between this password text box and login button. Now let's see this login form in tablet mode. So this is the tablet mode when you open this website, and let's see what it does feel like in mobile. So this is in the mobile, this is in the tab, and this is in the desktop mode. This is in the desktop mode. So that's all. This is our designing part. Now we are going to create the database in SQL Server and write the backend code. So stop and open up SQL Server. I'm using Microsoft SQL Server version 2018. Right click over database, click on new database, and give the database name res login. Click OK. It will take some time, and expand the database directory, and you can see this is our database res login. Right click over table, click on new, and then click on table. This is the relational database, that's why we are going to use the table, and column name is username, data type is varchar, another column PSSWRD password, VRCHR varchar. Simply press Ctrl+S from your keyboard and give the table name. I'm going to use login. Simply save that, and again expand that table directory. Right click over that recently created table and click on edit top 200 rows. We are going to insert some value here. Admin @gmail.com, and password is admin. I'm going to use this simple username and password in order to demonstrate to you, but you should not use this such an easy username and password in your project. User gmail.com and user. Simply close that. It will automatically save our value and go back to Visual Studio. We need to connect our web application with that database. In order to do so, click that Server Explorer, or if you did not see Server Explorer in your Visual Studio, go to View, and then there you can see Server Explorer somewhere. There you can see Server Explorer. Simply click that option, Server Explorer, and right click about data connection. Click on Add Connection, and simply click that drop down icon, or simply type your server name. My server name is here on PC. The server name is simply your personal computer or computer name, and select the database from here. Our database name is IDS login. Click that. OK. Now we need this connection string, so simply copy that connection string, and we are going to paste somewhere else later. Now in that login form, this is the source code. Click that design and double click that login form. But keep in mind, if you are going to use the HTML server control, you cannot create the listening event of that controls. But here we use the ASP control, ASP web control. Here you can see ASP control. That's why we are able to create the event of this button. That is the reason we use web server control in this login button. So double click that login. It will automatically create the clicking event of that button, and scroll upward, and we need to use some classes here, that is namespace, using system.data.sql client. In order to use that SQL Server database, using system.data. Scroll down, and inside the clicking event of that button, first of all, what we need to do is we need to save the user enter value. When the user enter the value in those text box, here we need to save that value in some variable. So in order to do that, string string username is equal to we are going to access the ID from here. So go back to source, and here you can see we already give that ID txt email and txt passed. So txt email dot value. You cannot use txt email dot text because it is a HTML server control. If you use the ASP server, if you use the web server control, you can use txt email dot text property. And another one, string password password is equal to txt pass dot value. Now SQL Server SQL connection, we need this SQL connection class in order to connect our web application with the SQL server. So SQL connection con is equal to new SQL connection, and here goes that previously copied connection string, and we need one SQL command class in order to write our SQL query. So SQL command cmd is equal to new SQL command, and here goes select select. It's better to use the it's better to write the standard SQL query in capital letter. So select all from our table name is login, login login, where username is equal to single quotes, two single quotes, inside two single quotes, two double quotes, inside two double quotes, two plus, and we are going to use that two double quotes because we are going to pass the string value. That's why we need to use that. And here goes username and password is equal to, this is the column name of our database, that is the login table column name, and password is the login table field name, that is the column name, and password is equal to two single quotes, inside two single quotes, two double quotes, inside two double quotes, two plus sign, and here goes PASSWRD password. And here we need to pass another argument here, that is connection. Now we need to use SQL Data Adapter. This class acts like a adapter between our application and the database. So SQL Data Adapter SDA is equal to new SQL Data Adapter, and here goes CMD. We pass our SQL query here, and we are going to use data table. Data table dt is equal to new data table, and dt dot fill, sorry, we need to fill that SDA, that is SQL Data Adapter SDA dot fill. We are going to fill that SDA with our dt, that is data table. And here what I am going to do is, if dt dot rows dot count is greater than 0, means if the user enter value match with the value that we save in our SQL Server table, if that match, that means greater than 0. 0 means false and 1 means true. So this is the boolean value. What we are going to do is, we are going to display the message to the user. So here response dot write, we are going to display alert box. So here what I am going to do is, I am going to use script, script, script type is equal to text slash jva script java script, and here I am going to use alert box, alert alert login successfull, login successfully. And what I am going to do is, I am going to, first of all, I am going to add another waveform here. When the user login successfully, we are going to display this form. So I am going to display index, and inside this index form, what I am going to do is, here simply display h1 tag, h1 wl welcome to in the index page. Simply save that and go back to login .aspx, and here, so when the user enter correct username and password, we are going to display this index.aspx form. So in order to do that, I'm going to write location.href is equal to our page name, that is index.aspx, and simply close that, and here script script, and semicolon goes here. Now if the user enter incorrect username and password, so simply we are going to use response dot write error, error. That's all. Just save it, and now execute it. Now here is the beauty of using Bootstrap. If you enter like this and click on login, it will display error message here. Please include @ sign. Here you can see, please enter @ in email address. So this is the validation. So what we are going to do is, we are going to write admin@gmail.com. That's why I use @gmail.com while saving in SQL Server, and password is admin. Click that login. We did not see anything, that means there is some error. or response dot write script 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 type is equal to text slash javascript. Here I forget that single quotes. Login successfully, and that's all. Again run it. admin@gmail.com admin login. I need to display that alert box, login successfully. When I click OK, I need to see that page, but here we get some error. The resource you are looking has been removed. 404 error. Let me see what's going on here. Here is some mistake. That means I need to write ASPX, but I wrote ASXP. Simply save that. Again run it. admin@gmail.com. Here goes admin. Click that login. OK, and welcome to index page. Go back, and here is user and user. Login. There you go. Now, but if I enter that email, and let me show you this email and this password, I need to display error message. There you go. You can also display the message alert box here, like we did here. Response type is equal to script type is equal to, in that way. So that's all. So that's it in this video tutorial, guys. If you like this video, share this video with your friends so that they can know about these amazing tutorials and tricks, and give thumbs up, which really motivates us to create such programming video and stay connected with this channel. In order to stay connected with this channel, you need to subscribe this channel. So subscribe this channel, and thank you once again for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye bye.